Welcome everybody to Thursday noon gentle yoga. I'm not Kristen Olson. I'm Leo Bray, filling in for Kristen Olson of Kristen Olson's Urban Yoga Center. This is not Urban Yoga Center. This is my house. Here we are. Visit us online at urbanyoga.org or Kristen Olson's Urban Yoga Center to check out the schedule of daily classes online, see where you can join us in person if you're local in Palm Springs, and also please note where you can make contributions to support us online. So we'll start today in a reclined posture. We're going to have the soles of our feet together, knees splayed out and be on our backs. So you might put your feet together, then lie down, or maybe you want to lie down, then put your feet together. Either is okay. If you have some of these yoga blocks, you might put them between the outside of your knees and the floor to take the weight of your legs and make the posture more passive. I'll just answer the door, let our other friend in. And you could rest your hands on the ground, or you might want to rest your hands on your body. A hand on your belly, you can feel your breath. A hand on your chest, maybe feel for your heartbeat. Maybe one hand in each place, maybe both hands in the same place. Wherever you want, they're your hands. Close your eyes if you like. Let your breathing slow down and get deeper simply by paying attention to it. Feel your body accepting the support beneath it, whether that's just the floor and the mat, or if you're using blocks. If you don't have blocks, you could put a bolster, throw pillow, rolled up towel or blanket under the outside of the knees as well. And if it bothers you in any way to have your knees splayed like this and your feet together, you can start out like this instead, with the soles of your feet planted on the floor, and just let your knees lean towards each other a bit. Let the hips disengage there. Sometimes this posture in the lower body doesn't feel so good, depending on what's going on in your hips that day. So just observing your breath helps it get slower and deeper. We don't seek to make this happen. We just allow it to happen, invite it to happen. Observe the movements of your breathing and the sensations that accompany those movements. And scan your body head to toe and take in whatever else is going on. Notice whatever's there to be noticed. Whatever sensations are present for you in this moment. Taking particular note of anything that doesn't feel so good. If there's any soreness, any stiffness you detect, make note of these things so you can keep them in mind as we practice, bearing in mind that you are always welcome to skip or modify any part of practice, especially if it's to accommodate what's going on in your body. I like to say everything is optional but the breathing. As long as you keep breathing, you'll be fine. And even that can be modified. Whenever your attention wanders, as it always does, that's how our mind works, just gently redirect, come back to noticing your breath, back to observing what's going on in your body, so that you continue taking care of yourself, finding the best practice for you today. And if in addition to those intentions we'll share, you want to add an intention of your own, you may do so. Go ahead and let that finish coming together and taking hold. With our intentions in place, let's share 3 deep cleansing breaths. Breathe in through your nose, breathe out through your mouth with a sigh. Now, if you are positioned as I am with your soles of your feet together, your knees splayed out, let your arms help your legs to come out of that posture so you don't strain anything in your hips, lower back, or legs. Bring your hands to the outsides of your knees. It's like closing a book. Nudge your knees towards each other so the soles of your feet come to rest on the mat. And if you had blocks or other props down here, we can move those out of the way, put them up here past the head. Because we're going to do next an energizing twist like this. Reach your arms to the sides, cross your left ankle above your right knee, bring that right heel as close to your butt as it will go. Keeping your shoulders grounded, let your legs fall to the right and turn your head to the left. And don't worry about how far your legs go, just let them go. Let your breath wring you out. Slowly come back up to center and switch the cross of those legs. Right ankle above left knee. Let your legs fall to the left and turn your head to the right. Bring it all back up to center. Uncross your legs. Draw your knees towards your chest, hug your knees, and rock side to side or roll in circles to massage your back against the floor. And then reach your feet straight up towards the ceiling. Now, two different ways you might do this. You might bring your hands to your legs and let your arms support your legs. Or you might rest your hands on the floor and get some core work in here too. Point your toes up at the ceiling. Point your toes down at your face. Let your feet and legs relax a bit. Make circles with your right foot. Roll the ankle around. Change direction. Circle the left foot. Change direction. Draw your knees towards your chest again. Rock front to back. Roll your spine along the floor. If that doesn't feel good, tip onto one side. Press your hand to the floor and make your way up to a seat that way. So we'll all meet sitting up. Now, if you like, you could elevate your seat like I'm going to do. I'm going to sit on these two blocks like this because I like to do that sometimes. Sitting on the forward edge of the blocks or bolster, or even just a folded blanket. Let your pelvis tilt forward, and this allows the front of your hips to open up. That's why we do it. Maybe your hips are more open, you're just more comfortable sitting on the ground. You don't have to sit exactly the way I'm sitting. Sit so that you are comfortable. Bring your hands out to the sides. Just rest your fingertips on the floor, stay long in your spine. Inhale, reach your right arm up alongside your ear. As you exhale, let your arm drape across your head. Let the weight of your arm gently draw your head to the right. If you want to further extend this trapezius muscle in the side of the neck, you can lift the left hand a little and reach out through your fingertips like there's something over here you want to pick up and you can't quite reach it or find it. If your left hand is raised, let it down. Now let your neck be passive and relaxed. Let your right hand slide across your head and slide down to your cheek and use your arm to lift your head, giving your neck a break. Let that hand down. Inhale, lift your left arm up alongside your ear. As you exhale, let it drape over. Gently draw your head to the left. And if you like, you could reach out and extend through your right fingertips. If your right hand is raised, let it down. Allow your neck to be passive. Left hand slides over, slides down, and left arm does the work. Let the left hand down. Walk your left hand behind you. Bring your right hand to your left leg. Inhale, lengthen up through the crown of your head. Exhale, invite your body to twist some more. Think of working your way up from the waist, finding the length when you inhale. When you exhale, invite your body to go further if that seems beneficial to you. Just finding how much twist seems like enough. And that doesn't have to be the furthest you can possibly go. Maybe enough is way less than that. Let yourself unwind, come back to center. Then walk your right hand behind you, bring your left hand across. Inhale, find the length. Exhale, find your way into a sufficient twist. Let yourself unwind, come back to center. Simple forward fold. Bring your hands to the floor in front of you. Walk them forward. Not even worrying about the shape of the fold. Just walk your hands out as far as you can or as far as you want. Let your neck disengage, let your head drop. Breathe into your back, your lower back, or maybe it's more your upper back. Breathe into where you're noticing the most sensation. Walk your hands over to the right and take a few breaths. Walk your hands back through center and over to the left. Take a few breaths there. Walk your hands back through center and then back in. Rest your hands on your knees or your thighs. We'll take a few breaths like cow pose and cat pose, just flip to 90 degrees from the traditional versions of those poses. Inhale, bring your heart forward, let your head tip back. Exhale, bring your heart back, let your head tip forward. Follow your breath. We don't have to breathe at the same pace. See if you can use the whole inhale to come forward. Use the whole exhale to go back. Maybe those breaths and those movements grow a bit bigger. After the next exhale, sit up again, spine neutral. Let your chin fall towards your chest. We'll start some slow, gentle circles for our neck. Roll your ear towards your shoulder. Let your head tip back, look up towards the ceiling. Other ear towards the other shoulder. Really take your time. You might even challenge yourself to see just how slowly you can stand to go. If there are any spots that feel particularly tight as you explore the circles, you might pause with the circling and rock back and forth over a tight spot. When you finish the next circle, change direction and take a few going the other way. Pausing to rock back and forth as you like, where it's needed. When you finish the next circle, lift your chin and look forward. I'm going to do some stretching for our hands. Reach your right hand out in front of you with your palm facing up. We're going to do one breath per finger like this. Take hold of your pinky with your left hand. Inhale, gently draw it out. Exhale, draw it down. Over to the next finger. Inhale and exhale. So we're stretching the finger, opening the palm, the wrist, the forearm. We use our hands a lot. They do a lot for us. We don't do a lot for them sometimes, it seems. A little can go a long way. After the thumb, of course, switch hands, left palm up. Take hold of that pinky with your right hand. Inhale, draw it out. Exhale, we draw it down. After that thumb, let it go. Maybe shake your hands a bit. I have a friend in Boston calls this starfish dance party. It's a fun counter pose. There's no wrong way to do it. Let's play with our hands a little more, but this is really going to get into the shoulders and the back a bit, but it starts with the hands. Hands at the heart. That's pretty standard. We do that a lot, don't we? Position your hands so that your forearms are parallel to the ground. Approximate is okay. If you're facing the screen directly, you could probably get a good idea. Yes, that's pretty parallel. So we're going to play around with this, see what kind of range of motion you have here. You're going to rotate your hands forward, trying to keep the arms level and trying to keep the hands pressing together. Tip your hands so your fingers point forward, and then see how far they might point down. So you might not make it 180 degrees like that, and come back. And just try that a few times. Maybe it really moves really easily for you, maybe not. And maybe you can feel into what's going on in the muscles in your arms, your shoulders, the muscles around your shoulder blades. It's okay if you can't. There's no wrong way to observe yourself. You're just noticing what there is to notice. And if that's, I don't know, That's the observation. I don't know what's going on in my shoulder blades. What are you talking about? All right, let's make our way up onto our hands and knees. You might tip forward, you might tip to one side, however you want to do it. Bring your hips right above your knees. Shoulders could be right above your wrists, if that's okay on your wrists. If it's not, bring your hands further forward to put less pressure on your wrists. Inhale, draw your heart forward, let your head and tailbone go up. Exhale, draw your heart up, let your head and tailbone come down. Follow your breath, do it a few more times. So we did this movement when we were seated, but of course, it's a very different movement on this axis because your seat isn't anchored. So the lower part of your spine can move more here. I find leading with the heart the most helpful way to focus on it. Moving the heart up and down because of the way the spine is curved, the head and the tail will also move. After your next exhale, come back to table with your spine neutral. Reach your right foot back and press the ball of your foot against the floor. Push your heel away from your tailbone. With your next inhale, reach your left arm forward, thumb pointing up. If you want to go further on an inhale, pick your right foot up and reach straight back through the sole of your foot. You can always put it down and change your mind. If you want to go even further, bend that knee, reach back, see if you can take hold of your foot, ankle, or pant leg. Kick against your hand, lift your knee, lift your chin. Release, lower down. Take a few cow and calf breaths. And after your next exhale, come back to table. Reach back, press into the ball of your left foot for a couple breaths. Let that leg lengthen out. On an inhale, reach your right arm forward. With an inhale, if you want, pick your foot up, reach straight back to go further. And if you like to go even further, bend your knee, reach back, see about that bind. Stretching your quads, opening your shoulder in the midline. Release, lower down. Take a few rounds of those cow, cat breaths and movements. Then bring your big toes together. Send your knees further apart if you like. If your knees give you trouble, keeping them together might feel better. Sit back towards your heels. Walk your hands forward, child's pose, sometimes called everyone's favorite pose. Let your head come down to the floor. If it doesn't quite reach the floor, you could stack your hands and rest your forehead on your hands. You could rest your forehead on a block or some other props. But you want your head to touch down on something so your neck can disengage. You might make the pose active by continuing to reach forward with your hands, but you can let your arms go slack and be more passive. You could let your shoulders disengage by reaching your hands back towards your feet instead. Lots of choices. Choices are nice. Notice your breath. Scan to see what's going on in your body. What might have changed since the last time that you were scanning your body? If your hands are reaching back, reach them forward again. Inhale, glide forward and up to table. Step your right foot up between your hands. It's okay if it takes more than one step or if your hand helps your leg. You could have blocks under your hands to make the transition more accessible. Step your left foot up to meet it. Hang out in forward fold. You might have blocks under your hands. Have them hang in the air, drag on the ground, or clasp your elbows, or clasp your hands behind your head. Bend one leg, then the other. Sway back and forth. Head heavy, arms heavy. If your arms aren't hanging down, let them hang down again. Shake your head no. Nod your head yes. Inhale, lift halfway, rest your hands on the front of your legs and push against your legs. Help the crown of your head move forward away from your tailbone. Exhale, relax down into forward fold again. Inhale, roll to standing, hands overhead, palms together. And exhale to bring your hands to your heart. Let your hands hang at your sides. Raise your right shoulder towards your ear. Slide it back and let it down. And then your left shoulder up and back and down. Inhale, reach for the walls. Exhale, reach for your shoulder blades and hug yourself. Bring your chin towards your shoulder. Let your chin roll down towards your chest and up to the other side. Back down towards your sternum and up to the other side. Face forward. Inhale, spread your wings again. Exhale, cross the opposite way. Bring your chin to your shoulder and draw those half circles down through center and up to the other side. Down through center and up to the other side. Face forward again. Inhale, spread your wings. Exhale, twist to the right. Take a couple full breaths in the twist. Inhale through center and exhale to twist to the left and take a couple full breaths. Inhale, face front. Exhale, let your arms down. Inhale, out and up. Interlace your fingers, flip your palms up, look up at your hands, lift up your heart. With an inhale, bring yourself upright. As you exhale, bend to the left. Feel for length through both of those arms. Try to keep your right heel down. Try to keep the right shoulder back so your arm's not curling forward past your ear. Inhale, come up to center, and exhale to bend to your right. As long as we all get both sides, it's okay if we're not on the same side. Inhale, come on up. Exhale, let your arms come down. Inhale, out and up. Exhale, hands to heart. Inhale, out and up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, fold. Rest your hands on the floor, step your right foot back. You can keep the right leg raised like that, or you can let the right knee down and uncurl the back toes. Bring your hands to your knee, lift your torso. So it could be in a low lunge like this or a higher lunge like that, and you can change your mind every time. I'm going with the low one and starting with the low one because it's gentle class, but if you feel jazzy, you feel like something more active, go for a higher lunge. Exhale, sink forward in your hips. Inhale, glide back. And maybe just repeat like that if you want to add in arm movements. You might raise one arm or both. You can always bring one hand to your knee for steadiness. When you sink forward, draw your arms down to cactus. When you glide back, reach your arms up. The movement with your legs can be as big or small as you want. How does it feel in your legs and hips? Do they want more? Do they want less? From the top of the movement, let's twist. Reach your right hand back, left hand forward to twist to the right. You can always drop the left hand to your knee if you start to wobble too much. Now, if you want, even in a low lunge, we can get a little jazzy. We can reverse the twist. You can inhale, tip back, and reach up if you like. Left hand up above your face, look up towards your hand. Right hand can come to the right leg or to the lower back. If you reverse, inhale, tip forward. Come back through center, hands to heart, and then twist to the left. Left hand goes back, right hand reaches forward or drops to the knee for steadiness. And if you want, this one's trickier, you can reverse here too. Inhale, tip back, reach up. Right hand goes up, left hand can come to right leg or lower back. If you reverse, tip forward, come back through center. Bring your hands down. Remember, you could have blocks under your hands here to ease these transitions. Step forward with your right foot. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart. Inhale up. Exhale, hands to heart. Inhale up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, fold. Rest your hands, step your left foot back. You could be in a lunge like this with the knee raised, or you could let the knee down, uncurl the toes like I'm going to do. Lift your torso. Exhale, sink forward in your hips. Inhale, glide back. If and when you want, you can add in moving one or both of your arms as you glide forward and back, lowering and raising your arms. If you feel wobbly, you might widen your stance. I was just scooting my foot over because I realized my stance was a little narrow. I felt a little wobbly. Let's twist to the left. If you like, you could reverse your twist. Inhale, tip back and reach up. If you reverse, tip forward again, level up. Come through center, hands by your heart, and twist to your right. And if you want, reverse inhale to back, reach up. If you reverse, step forward again. Come through center, hands to your heart. Bring your hands down to the ground. Step your left foot forward. Nod your head. Shake your head. Inhale, lift halfway up. Exhale, fold down. Inhale, all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart. Inhale up. Exhale, hands to heart. Inhale up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, fold. Step back to a plank. Plank could be like this, or you could let your knees down and make a shorter plank like that. Either way, let your hips come down in line with your shoulders and your knees. Exhale, slowly lower all the way down with your elbows in close to your rib cage. Press into your hands. Inhale, lift your head and chest to whatever height feels okay in your lower back. Exhale, rock back, pass through table. Curl your toes under. Press into your feet to lift your knees. Press into your hands and lift your tail. Downward dog. Pedal your feet up and down for a few breaths, letting your heels get closer to the ground. Inhale, bend your knees, look forward. Exhale, step your feet forward. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale all the way up. Exhale, hands to your heart. Inhale up. Exhale, hands to heart. Inhale up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, fold. Step back to plank. On an exhale, lower halfway or all the way. Inhale, bring your heart forward. Exhale, back and up. Inhale, bend your knees, look forward. Exhale, step forward. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale, all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart. Inhale up. Exhale, hands to heart. Inhale up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, fold. Step back to plank. You could go right from plank to downward dog if your arms are tired. Otherwise, exhale, lower. Inhale to bring your heart forward. Exhale, back and up. And in downward dog, take 3 cleansing breaths. Let your knees gently down. Take child's pose for a minute. Maybe compare notes with how things felt in the previous child's pose. Maybe simply scan your body without comparing notes. Maybe just focus on your breath. Inhale, come forward, sort of coming to table, not really staying here. Cross your ankles, walk your hands in towards your knees. You could roll over your ankles like that to come to a seat, or tip onto one hip and swing your legs around. So we all meet sitting up with legs extended forward and feet flexed back. Inhale to reach your arms up overhead. Exhale to fold down over your legs. If your knees want to bend, just let them bend. When you inhale, think of the crown of your head reaching further forward. When you exhale, think of lowering down some more. Inhaling, walk your hands up the front of your legs and sit yourself up. Let your arms help your legs. Nudge your legs apart to whatever degree feels okay for you. I'll spin this way. So wherever the edge of your own comfort zone is, only you know how it feels in your legs. Walk your hands down your legs as far as you can. Maybe it's to your knees, maybe shins, maybe ankles, maybe feet, wherever it is for you. Bring your right hand over by your left hand. Reach your left arm to the side and turn your head to the left to follow your hand. Turn your thumb down towards the floor. Reach the back of your hand towards your right hip and draw your left shoulder back. Extend your arm. Bring that left hand back by the right hand. Bring your right hand back over to the right leg or right foot. Bring your left hand over to your right hand. Reach your right arm to the side, turn your head to the right. Turn your thumb down, reach towards your left hip, feel your right shoulder back. Extend your arm, bring that right hand back over by the left hand. Bring your left hand back to your left foot, left leg. Walk your hands up your legs to sit yourself up. Use your arms, nudge your legs in. Bring the soles of your feet to touch. Leave a big space between your pelvis and your heels, so there's this long diamond-shaped opening between the legs. And we're gonna grab the floor and take traction in the arms. So maybe reach under your ankles and grab the mat. Maybe you can't do that. Reach over your ankles and grab the mat. Either one is okay. Walk your hands forward on the floor and use your arms to come down into this pretzel-y shape. And let your head drop, let your neck disengage. Breathe into your lower back. Slowly walk your hands back. Lift your torso upright. Keep your feet together, bring them in as close as you can. Heels in towards your pelvis. Interlace your fingers, grab your feet in your hands. Wriggle on your seat, bring those bones in your seat closer to the floor. Tilting your pelvis forward. Inhale, lengthen up through the crown of your head. Exhale, hinge at the hips, fold forward with your spine long at first. See how far that'll go. Maybe your elbows press down on the insides of your legs, nudging your hips open some more. When the long spine isn't lowering anymore, let your head lower again. Think of breathing into your hips. Inhale, slowly sit yourself up. Let your arms help your legs. Lift your knees towards each other. Rest your hands on the ground out past your hips. Wiggle your feet further apart, further than hip width, maybe to the edges of your mat. Let your knees dance back and forth to whatever degree they will. Maybe as your knees go to the left, turn your head to the right, and vice versa, head and knees passing each other at center. And bring your feet in closer, maybe hip width apart. Come down onto your forearms and down onto your back. With your heels as close to your butt as they'll go, cross your left knee over your right knee. If you can't cross your knees, that's okay. You can cross your left ankle over your right knee like we did earlier and repeat that kind of twist. Reach your arms out to the sides. Let your legs fall to the right. Turn your head to the left and see if you can keep your shoulders grounded like we did in the earlier supine twist. Slowly come back up to center and then cross your legs the other way. Right knee over left knee or right ankle over left knee. If crossing your knees doesn't work for you today, let your legs go to the left and turn your head to the right. Slowly come back to center. Uncross your legs. Draw your knees towards your chest. Hug your knees. Rock and roll to massage your back against the floor. Rest your hands on top of your knees and use your arms to guide your knees in opposite circles. Then change direction. Cross your ankles. Reach down and grab your big toes. And then draw circles with your ankles. Massage your sacrum against the floor. Change direction. Let go of your toes, cross your ankles the other way. Grab your toes again, make circles again. Change direction. Release your toes, uncross your ankles. Reach your feet towards the ceiling. Reach your hands up, take hold of your legs or your feet anywhere you want to. Play with bending and straightening your arms and legs. Exploring whatever degree of movement you like in our happy baby pose. Maybe you rock back and forth, maybe a little, maybe a lot. Maybe you engage more for some deeper limb stretching, or keep to sort of mid-range movements. If there's some other inversion you wish to practice, go ahead and do so. Whenever you feel complete with inverting, you can make your way to your final resting pose, which might be the traditional corpse pose, legs extended, feet splayed open, hands at your sides. But you don't have to conclude practice this way. You can come to whatever position you'll be comfortable in to just breathe quietly and integrate the benefits of your practice. You might return to the posture you started in. If lying flat doesn't feel good in your lower back, you can take pressure out of your lower back by planting the soles of your feet and letting your knees lean in towards each other. Maybe there's some other resting posture you'd like to come to. When you find your comfortable stillness, you may simply focus on your breathing or recall an intention you set for yourself to reflect upon it. Or maybe just give your mind permission to drift, wander. Start to give yourself some even deeper breaths. Invite small movements to your body, maybe wiggle your toes and fingers. Let those lead to bigger movements, maybe move ankles and wrists. Maybe turn your head side to side. Gradually, bigger and bigger movements, taking your time, moving mindfully. When you're ready for bigger movements, you can gently sit yourself up. If you like, bring your hands up by your heart. Thank you all for sharing your practice today. The light within me sees and honors that same light within each of you. Namaste.